supported by our viewers and by
Blackstone Valley Wealth Management is an owner-managed firm in Hopkinton, providing highly personalized financial planning and wealth management services. We firmly believe in supporting the community in which we do business, and Hopkinton is full of great organizations doing incredible things. We are proud to be able to support HCAM, this growing community, and the wonderful people in it.
and by Chuck of MyHousePartners.com, providing comprehensive real estate services. My House Partners, committed locally, thinking globally.
This is HCAM TV.
Right now.
No, you're not understanding it.
No, I'm not. But it's 7 o'clock, so,
I'm working on it.
okay, so you want me to get out of Studio A?
I already kicked you out.
Okay. So we're live on HCAM TV.
Okay, we'll be on the air in just a moment.
Now. Now.
Hello, Hopkinton, and welcome to the Hopkinton Hangout Hour. It is Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock, and we are a couple minutes late, but welcome. Thank you for joining our show. We have a two-segment show for you tonight. Our first segment, we will have the Board of Health Director, Sean McAuliffe, giving us all the latest on the COVID update. A lot of stuff has been happening. And then in the second half hour, Tom Nappy will be talking to some people from CWA International about a recent fundraiser. And welcome to the Hopkinton Hangout Hour. So it is Wednesday evening. Welcome to our show. And we are a couple minutes late, but welcome. Thank you for joining our show. We always our pleasure. Always our pleasure. For you tonight. So before I get into any questions, I always like to give you the opportunity to just go ahead all the latest on the tell us everything that's new because happening. And then the second half, you always know a lot more than I do. Talking to some people from CWA International.
It's been an uneventful week.
Fundraiser. And welcome to that David Hour. So it is Wednesday evening to our show.
We've demonstrated that we can successfully run a large-scale vaccination clinic. Tomorrow we finish up the second doses for the 1,178 Pfizer vaccines that we provided to seniors over the age of 75. I actually got a call from Senator Stoker's office today commending us on our efforts and can successfully run a large-scale original group nation of first responders, first responder community that had got together and then put together this concept of running larger clinics seniors over the age of 75. We actually I actually got a call from municipal mass vaccination proposal out to the mass DPH and proposing to run a municipal mass vaccination site probably out of Westboro. We do have some backup locations, but we had initially been told no, but there appears to be a glimmer of hope that clinic could come to life. So, keep your fingers crossed. And if we are allowed to do so, we'd be working with Westboro, Northboro, Southboro, Boylston, Ashland, Holliston, right? And I think that's it. And basically set up to provide about 4,000 vaccines a week. So, as I said, we're waiting to see if we get approved. Senator Spilka's office and Representative Dykema's office are strongly in support of our. So that, I believe that regulation is going to go into effect I think this Friday. They're supposed to make a formal announcement to that effect on Friday. So that'll bring some relief to those who are in positions where they that are maybe a little higher risk, where they might have contact with someone. But again, as long as they are fully vaccinated and 14 days out and can demonstrate that they're fully vaccinated, and lastly, that they remain asymptomatic, they will not have to take further action. So that's good news. And then, honestly, there are a bunch of new regulations that are going to come out, some of which have come out on expanding services and further opening of services. There'll be some new developments that come out related to sports that should allow us to really, I wouldn't say get to a full normal operation of the Parks and Rec department, but will get us to a much better place than we've been over the last year. So, I'm really hopefully optimistic that we will be in a much better place in the next month or so.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. Can you talk a little bit about what you're seeing on cases, on rates, and not only, if you can, like in Massachusetts, a general thing, but also in Hopkinton and also in the school system, how things are looking?
So what we've seen, the trend over the last couple of weeks has been that the majority of cases are popping up in children under the age of 20. Those cases, they're a little skewed because you've got a couple sport-related illnesses where there's been a hockey, there's a cheer / gymnastics. There have been exposures in cheer and gymnastics and hockey. And in those cases, multiple people in the family have tested positive. And then in those families, there have been a number of children in the family. So we're seeing a slightly increased number of younger people contracting the illness. And then we've had a couple exposures related to, one was related to travel. And then I think there were 2 workplace exposures that led to children at home testing positive. So in all those cases, again, we're seeing more young people getting ill. We have not seen any trends, any disturbing trends in the school. We did have our first case of in-school transmission about a little over a week ago, and we're working with the DPH to further investigate that exposure. Because one of the things that everybody's been talking about variants, and I was actually right before we came on, I was emailing back and forth with the head epidemiologist at the DPH to see if we might be able to pick a few cases here or there over the next couple weeks to have those tests analyzed to see if there are any variants present in, say, the Hopkinton positive pool, because I think that would be helpful. We know that the British variant is present in Worcester County, in Middlesex County, and it's in the Boston area. So it's reasonable to assume that it is making its way between Worcester and Boston and will be impacted in the not too distant future. But there was a significant outbreak at a Milford sporting complex, and the fact that there were over 20 cases that came out of that one facility gave the health directors some concern, because you don't normally see that number of positives come out of a younger population. So that's one grouping that the group of health directors have requested additional analysis for.
So you have a lot of information there, and you actually had a lot of...
I haven't even touched.
I know. You have a lot of knowledge on the numbers and stuff. But did you say, I don't know if I missed it, do you know what the current number of cases in Hopkinton is?
We had 690 as of 2:00 this afternoon. So our rate our rate is dropping, and I firmly believe that if we can continue to just implement the basic mitigation strategies, distancing, face coverings, and just staying home when we're ill, and then really working to reduce our exposures, we're right on the cusp of going green.
Really? Okay, so that's really good.
Yeah, and then I mean, we're flirting. 2 weeks ago, we had our positivity rate down below 1, and that's where we want to be, because it's really difficult to affect community spread at a rate below 1. And then we popped up to 1.23, and I believe we're in a place where we can get down below 1 again. I believe we'll be below 1 again on tomorrow evening, and I believe we have a shot at seeing our risk rating drop to green, and then it's just going to be an effort to get down below to the unshaded risk level.
So that's really good. And I'm curious to know, because I'm trying really hard to keep the positive attitude, and I've been getting really excited about the vaccine rollout and people getting vaccinated. It just seems to me like it's a race against time between vaccination numbers getting up before the what are those called?
The variants.
The variants arrive and mess everything up again. How do you see that going?
I think we're in a good spot. It's what I don't need is I don't need a bunch of people to go away on spring break and then come home to Hopkinton. That would be a real fly in the ointment. And it's controlling your exposure. Even though I've been vaccinated, like my dad's been vaccinated, we still wear. I saw him this weekend. We still maintained our distance. We still wore face coverings. I'm still implementing those kind of strategies at home with my kids. Because the last thing I want is to see my kids sick, and then I just know that if I'm doing my part and everybody else is doing theirs, we have a much better chance at driving our positivity rate down, and really just getting to a point where we can. I'd like nothing more than to be able to go to Central Public House and toss the igloos aside and say these aren't necessary anymore. I'm working on a relocation and expansion of start lines outside dining area in anticipation of people being able to sit outside, enjoying the weather, having a beverage and dinner, without really having to worry as much. Not that I think we're going to have any sort of a real St. Patty's Day celebration at Cornell's, but we're getting to that point. And if we can just buckle down and kind of practice everything that we've been, hearing over the last year, I think we're gonna get to that point. Maybe we make June 17th the new St. Patrick's Day, but we're getting there, and I'm just asking people to be a little patient.
Okay, so you mentioned how you went to see your dad this past weekend, and you're still keeping your distance. You were still wearing your face coverings. If you went this upcoming weekend, would you still be doing that, or has what the CDC said, would that change your behavior now?
I'm still. Well, one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to model good behavior for my kids who can't get vaccinated yet, and that's one of the important things is, and I believe it's important for us, adults, especially adults that have got vaccinated, that we're continuing to model good behavior for those that here's a perfect example. Everybody at the fire department is fully vaccinated. They've been fully vaccinated for months now. Every time we meet, we have our masks on, we distance, we're in this, we have this set of policies and procedures. We still do our attestation. We do everything that we had set up a year ago in March, because it works. And if we have two visitors that come in, they're having some contract. Take a look at the HVAC system right now. When they see all of us wearing our face coverings, they're wearing their face coverings. So, the last thing we want is to see our contractors or anybody else that might be visiting the fire department fall ill. And then there's a very small percentage of the population that, even after they're vaccinated, they might contract COVID. The vaccines aren't 100% effective. So you still, you still want to exercise some caution. But again, we're getting to a better place.
Okay.
And that might be a little segue to the new vaccination system that's going into effect.
Well, if you want to mention anything about that before I get to my last few questions,
Yeah.
want to say it?
Well, it may be that, it may be that Casey, knew what she was doing when she put out the list. That infamous list that went all over Facebook and drew all kinds of ire. That is exactly what the governor and his task force just announced today. It's one of the best ways to operate a vaccine clinic like we have is you get a list out. You're able to sort the list by age group or comorbidity or employment group, and then you can send people individual links so that they can sign up directly and securely. And I was just laughing. I was laughing with the chief today that if nothing else, I think we demonstrated that what Casey had put together was the best way to go.
That's great.
That's going to be it's going to take a lot of load off of those who are trying to get into the system. You'll register, and then you'll kick back and wait for your notification, and then you have 24 hours to respond to the email prompt that you receive. So I think it'll be a lot easier for people, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how it's implemented. And it's done by, I believe, Google controlled the whole operation. They tested it, and I want to say the governor went on. I can't say he. Actually, I do think he promised us that there would be no problems when it goes into effect on Friday.
That's great. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about Texas and what they're doing, but I am interested in what your thoughts are about Massachusetts and what it's doing. I get that there is a tension between keeping people safe, keeping people alive, and also trying to keep, save this economy and keep things going. And there's really kind of a balance there. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts. You know what? The test rate is going down. It's under 2% now. I saw it like 1.8, 1.7 the last couple of days. And we're now restrictions are being loosened, and people can do more, and more people can gather. What's your feeling with your experience over this past year about how the opening is going in relation to the positivity rate, the vaccinations, and the variants? Put it all together, Sean. What do you think?
I would have, if I were running the show, I would have held off probably another couple weeks, maybe even a month. Right, it's still cool now. I think that if the governor had just waited, I think we'd be in a better spot, because people would be more inclined to do more things outside. There'd be a greater opportunity to open restaurants outside and do that safely, and really get back to where we were, like in the late fall. We're still, the weather is still variable enough that people are gonna end up congregating inside, and I just don't know that we have enough people vaccinated. And people, God knows how tired I am of, just following the rules and repeating the rules. I just would have rather waited. I don't know that I would have waited until the end of spring break. And then we've got a lot on the line. It doesn't help that, DESE, dictated that the schools got to open on, on the 5th and the 28th of April. So we're trying to manage a reopening while we're reopening the schools, and if there's a problem, with the reopening of businesses and people starting to socialize, and we're increasing our exposures, if that starts building, and causing an increase in case numbers, that's not going to bode well as we're starting to open the schools up. And I think I would have liked to see everything just everybody just wait a bit. And then one of the things that we're doing to help businesses is as we're running our vaccine clinics, I've got to feed the fire department, all of the people that are working the clinics. So what we've decided to do is we're ordering from local businesses, and we're just working our way down, the list of open or people that are open during the time of our clinics. And we're taking that opportunity to invest, say the grant money that we're using that we've received for vaccine clinic operation. We're injecting that into the community through, food orders and just anytime we have an opportunity to really support our businesses, we're trying to make sure that, one operation that we're running is actually helping to or benefiting another business that might be operating. So, and that's just one way that I think over the next 2 months, if we're focused on, getting takeout and just kind of celebrating at home, maybe the last couple months where we're really kind of cooped up before the good weather gets here, that might be a way to help start bolstering the businesses and getting them ready for their openings.
All right, so we just got a couple more minutes. I'm going to get back to something that you mentioned. You're setting a good example for your kids, and you're still wearing a mask. Do you see that changing, and at what milestone or metric do you think you would consider not wearing a mask?
When we get an adequate number of people vaccinated in the community, and and again, we are setting the example for our children, and if we stop wearing face coverings, it's just it's giving them the right to stop wearing them when they're not in our eyes, in our view. And that's one of the things that, I'll be one of the things to mention is, as we're getting towards the end of the year and the weather's improving, there was a fairly sizable, high school party last week, and what they didn't know is that one of the participants was a contact of a COVID positive person, and if that person if that contact had been positive, everybody that attended that party would have been put out in quarantine, and I know all holy hell would have broken loose because it's no different than what I did when I was a kid. Not that I condone like underage drinking and partying, but that would have been a rude awakening for just a bunch of kids let their guard down, and they almost got caught as contact.
All right, so Sean, thank you. We got just under a minute left. I just want to get a quick take from you. I know this isn't your decision, and in fact, it's not the superintendent's decision. It's DESE at the state level is putting guidelines out about full return to school. Are you concerned about that, or are you comfortable with the process and the planning as it's going?
I'm just concerned that they're being rushed. They were developing a good plan, good set of plans. They were working it through, and I just would have preferred that they had a little more time. I'm confident that they'll be ready to reopen next fall without any issues. but I do think that Desi stepped in and kind of mucked up the work that Dr. Kavanaugh and her team had put together.
Sorry, wrong file there.
No.
Hey, thank you so much for spending your time here. We really appreciate all the knowledge that you give us.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure, and that's I guess. Well,
Fuck.
so I'm just I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll be in a good place in about 2 months.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Sean. Thank you very much.
All right, welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we're going to be back with our last segment with Tom. And we're running a couple minutes late, so Matt, please stand by in case you have to stop the schedule. And we hope that you enjoyed this segment with Tom and Siwa International.
Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and welcome to this segment of the Hopkinton Hangout Hour. And today we are joined by numerous participants with the SUA International Organization. We have Shova Sharma with us among a few others. But before we introduce everybody else, Shova, can you introduce yourself and explain what SUA International is about and how the organization got started?
Thank you so much, Tom, for giving me opportunity again to talk to here today. So my name is Shova Kanal Sharma. I live in Hopkinton Legacy Farm. I'm an executive member of Seva International. I'm a treasurer of Legacy Farm North and board member of PJB and Hopkinton Women's Club. Seva means selfless service. So Seva International is a Hindu-based non-profit organization. It was founded in India in 1989 and USA 2003. Seva is active in 20 countries and 40 states in USA. So Seva main goal is to serve humanity irrespective of race, color, religion, gender, or nationality.
That's terrific. And you guys do some wonderful work throughout many countries around the world. And we'll get into what you're working on right now and some of the other stuff you have coming up. But before we get into the details about the project and what you're all currently working on, let's go around the table and just have each of you introduce yourself, talk about your background a bit, and how you got involved with the SUA International Organization. I guess we could start with Shova.
Madhuri.
And then Shova, maybe you could just cue the people up to introduce themselves and talk a bit about their background.
Okay. So, so like I said, I'm part of Seva International since last couple of years. And with me, with the Seva Food Drive, now Madhuri joined hand, and she's helping with South Legacy side for us because I live in north side of Legacy Farm. So I would like to introduce Madhuri, and she can talk about what are the projects we have working on with Seva. Madhuri?
Yeah, hi, I'm Madhuri Vaze. I'm a now board member of Seva International, as well as a co-chair of social media and for Hopkinton Women's Club. I enjoy volunteering and helping the community. So I was a part of the mask project where I helped last year to make masks, gowns, and caps for healthcare workers. So when Shova, so actually I like Seva guiding principle like servicing, like a service above self and unity in diversity. So when Shova asked me to join the core team, I become an active volunteer and member for different projects. So currently we have different projects going on. This is like a Feed the Hungry project, Also, we have
disaster relief,
a disaster relief program, and also the family services. So we have different programs going on hand in hand across the U.S. and around the country, around all the world, I should say, because there are a lot of other countries are also involved in the SEVA international projects.
Thank you, Madhuri. Now I would like to invite the coordinator. Last year, me, Madhuri, and a lot of other people volunteered. But this time, my son Subhanji, he coordinated this project. So I would like Subhanji to give introduction of him.
Hi, my name is Subhanja Kanal. I'm studying in 11th grade at Hopkinton High School. I've lived in Legacy Farms, Hopkinton for the past 4 years. I've been doing an internship program with SEWA International. And I've been volunteering at SEWA for the last few years when my mom first started coordinating the SEWA food drive and the mass project.
Terrific.
Thank you. Tom, you want me to continue with others or you want me to join that?
Yeah, I'd like everybody to get in there and just introduce themselves a little bit.
Yeah, okay, then I'll continue then. So now I would like to invite Dhanu. He is not just a high school student, not just a volunteer, but he has extra skill. I found out after he joined this project, after finishing SEVA Food Drive, he told me, I've written one article, and I was very surprised. He wrote a very nice article. He write for newspaper. I want him to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Danu Kumaran. I'm a sophomore at Hopkinton High School, and I've been living in Legacy for the past 2 years. I started volunteering at SEWA just this past month when I started with this project. I think it was a great experience for me working, and at the end of it, I decided to write an article about it, about my experience along with others, and yeah, I helped publish it on the SEWA website.
Thank you so much, Danu. Now we would like to invite Devyansh. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Devyansh, and I'm a sophomore at Hopkinton High School. I got involved into SEWA through Shubhanje, which he introduced me to this, and I just got involved into this project, and I'm probably going to be volunteering for more.
Thank you, Devyansh. And last but not least, our favorite Krutas. So can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Krutas Farma, and I'm a junior at the Hopkinton High School, and I've been living in Legacy too for the past 3 years. I actually heard about this program from Shubhanje as well, and I felt that as a high schooler, I do not have too many ways of helping out because I can't help financially. So I thought donating my time to this food drive would be a great opportunity to help the people in need who need it the most. So.
Thank you so much. And there were other volunteers. I'm so sorry because of limitation. We can only invite few kids. So thank you so much for other kids, who volunteered in this one. Though you are not here, but your picture will be here. And thank you for everything you guys have done. And I hope you will continue volunteering and inspire other youth to volunteer as well. Back to you, Tom.
Well, it's terrific work you all are doing. So can you explain the current project you're working on and what all of the roles are of everybody here? And anyone can just feel free to jump in.
Yeah. So Subhanje, I think that question is for Subhanje.
Talk about this. As of now, we've already collected the food, and we've been started distributing the food to 4 different pantries. Some of them being Project Just Because, Framingham Shelter, Brockton Church, and Westboro Food Pantry. My role in this food drive project, it was to organize and coordinate which route we will drop the flyers and where to pick up the food. Due to COVID, we even offered to do a pickup to the houses we offered the flyers to. I think that's why this year the food drive was doubled compared to last year.
That's terrific. And
Thank you.
were there a number of towns that distributed food to this program? Was it like a bunch of different food drives?
Yes, there was also one more in Westboro. My fellow friend in Westboro, he's also doing the same thing I'm doing here, organizing and coordinating the flyers and like which route they will be delivering throughout their neighborhood. And they've also started distributing throughout the pantries as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and there are other town also, Tom. In Hopkinton, these boys did it, and in other town because Suhas was inspired with Subhanje, what he did here with his friends. He thought like he can have fun at the same time. They are doing social service and giving back to community. So he was inspired and he did with 23 volunteers over there. But there are in Shrewsbury, in other location in Massachusetts. So entire Massachusetts Seva has done a food drive.
That's terrific. And
Yeah.
the food drives, they go to 4 different organizations, you said?
Yeah, from Hopkinton, like we didn't expect this big. I did me and Madhuri did last, but this year is like it's literally double. So last year we were able to give a project just because and Bay Path in Marlborough, but this year food came so much from Hopkinton. We distributed to more, like Madhuri said, let's distribute to more other part of the state, our Massachusetts.
Excellent.
Yes.
A little freeze there. It's a windy day out there, so could be a little interference from that. We'll hope for the best. So Shubhanje, you started this project. What inspired you to do this project? And could you talk about how you coordinated everything?
Since my childhood, I've seen my mom volunteer. And since last year, I was more involved in helping my mom with these activities. And I saw how our small effort could go a long way and be very impactful for the families in need. I feel that everyone's very blessed that they have a hot meal on their table, but some are not that fortunate. And I coordinated this project by splitting up the groups, and we each took our own lanes. Yeah.
Terrific. And the next question I was going to ask you is what was your strategy during the project? But you kind of explained it there. Is there anything that you could add as far as the strategy? Was there a lot of promotion materials and stuff like that?
Well, my goal for this project was to be very efficient and make it fun for everyone who's volunteering. So since we're just a bunch of friends who wanted to help make an impact in the community, I think we all gelled together, and this is one of the reasons why the project went so smoothly.
That's terrific. And Shov, you talked about this a little bit already, but you coordinated the SUA International Food Drive and donated food for 2 pantries. Could you talk about how the project went and the result?
Yeah, last year, Seva was more active in Hopkinton because, I moved here and I was a member. So we started the Seva Food Drive I started with my few other volunteers because, there was no COVID. So it was easy. Like I took little kids came with us and we went few house door to door and try to spread the word. But and then we start collect the food. And like I said, I'm part of the PJB board. So we found out what their needs are. Like in first hand, I will know like what are the food items needed. So what we did is whatever items was most needed to PJB, because we live in Hopkinton, we provide it to projects just because. And the rest items, they were not much needed, like canned food and all those stuff. And we found out Bay Path, elderly, they wanted canned foods. So that's how we divided like, this is working perfectly. What they need, they have, and what they don't need, it's going to the right place.
That's terrific. And Madhuri, was someone saying something? Madhuri, you mentioned that you just joined SUA International a few months back. Can you talk about how your experience has been and how you have liked working with this organization?
It is such a great organization. I have been heard about Seva from last 5-6 years. So I was like volunteering the other things, whichever is coming on my way. But since I joined the Seva, it is so close to my heart because their beliefs are same as what I believe in: service above self and unity in diversity. And they go all the grassroots programs. They coordinate with the local volunteers and reach remote places. So everyone is doing very selflessly. That's the best part. And everyone is so cooperative. Everyone wants to help each other and raise above ourselves. So that's made me such a fortunate to be a part of Seva.
And Tom, I want to add one more thing here is, Seva, though we are in 40, 20 country and 40 states, you can't believe we have only 5 employees. So it's such a big organization, but only 5 employees, all are volunteers. CP, like anything you like, it's amazing. You hardly find all this. So whatever people donate, like 98%, like 99% goes to the cause, that's the biggest thing.
5 employees for the world?
Entire world, yes.
Wow, that's pretty unbelievable.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much all volunteer-based organizations. So it must be some great volunteers across the world for sure.
Also, I just want to add actually for our distribution this year was more than what we did. So we definitely we did distribute the food to PGB in Hopkinton, also the Turning Point Shelter in Framingham, also the Worcester County Food Bank, and our Universal Missionary Church in Brockton, which is very hard-hit. So, and also we are planning to distribute some of the food to Westboro Food Pantry. So we are reaching to more and more people. And also I just wanted to say, because of the storms this year, we couldn't reach out to whole community in Hopkinton, but our plan next year is to reach out to whole community, everyone in Hopkinton, and spread the word and make more youth volunteers to involve in this.
Excellent.
Big shout out to all these 16 volunteers, because they went door to door to distribute these flyers to 400 houses. It's a lot in winter, like such a cold weather. And there are a few kids who went in phase 2, like 3-4 kids, young kids, like elementary school kids in snow. They went door to door in their neighborhood. This is amazing.
Yeah, it definitely gave me a lot of energy. So I'm going to continue.
Just looking at it, right?
What are the towns that this branch of the organization is working in the most? I know Hopkinton is obviously one of them. And I'm pretty sure you're based in Framingham, I want to say?
No, Framingham. We are distributing Framingham right now. So Shrewsbury, there are a lot of volunteers, civil volunteers in Shrewsbury and other. Shrewsbury is the one. Because there is a Worcester Food Bank, so we try to focus on big area where food is most needed. And Brockton, like Madhuri was, wherever there is need, we are always there. So anybody say, oh, this pantry need food, and me and Madhuri do little things. We are just focusing on food drive today. It's never we have done like a Christmas gift program for Project Just Because. Me and her, we work really hard to provide 60 gift cards and lot of gifts for Christmas. So there are a lot of things we keep on doing in this community. So whenever there is need, we are always there.
And also, I know the last time we talked to you, you were doing a lot of COVID-19 protective gear, such as masks. And I believe the
90 volunteers
as well, right?
Yes. Even my Subhanji helped me to make a gown. We were making with the plastic roll, disposable gowns. So, last year, we had interview, there were 90 volunteers helped me with our Seva Mask project. It was very big. And Madhuri is here. So, she helped, she's also part of that. I think that's influenced her more what Seva does. So yeah, that's last year we've talked, and this year is we are doing food drive, and there is more projects coming up.
That's excellent. And is anybody here going to be working on any other upcoming projects? And if so, can you explain them?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Madhuri.
yeah, as we said in
you.
Seva, we do like a disaster relief as well as family services, public hygiene, as well as child education program. But also we are going to add one more thing about collecting the over-the-counter medical supplies, because a lot of flexible spending account, FSA account go wasted every year. And we realize that if we can utilize and collect all the blood pressure monitors or diabetic kits or other over-the-counter, which can go to all the food pantries or shelter wherever needed. So that's our goal for the March that we're going to do. And Showa is also doing other Mangal Nidhi program for the girls. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I think Subhanji is working on one project after this food drive. Can you share, Subhanji? And
so right now we just created flyers. We're going to be starting a arts class. And in the class, they're going to be making crafts and drawings.
yeah.
And all the funds will be going into the kids' education to, they'll be going
Family.
to kids' education, uneducated kids.
Yeah. So our next project, like he said, it's we are doing an art class program for the kids, and the teacher Kanchan, is from our neighborhood. She's contributing her time, and whatever per kid's gonna pay for the art will be $35, something very basic amount. That donation gonna go to support a child for activities or anything related to kids or family needs. We will provide those funds to them. 100% funds go there. So that's pretty amazing. And after that, we will work on, after the art projects done with in March, we are planning to do a Mangal Nidhi project. It will be a grand project. It will be entire Hopkinton we are trying to do, as well as Westboro also. They already showed interest, like, they want to do that program. So we will talk more about that, Tom, next time.
Absolutely. And if somebody wanted to get involved in the great work that you're doing and find out more information about the Seva International Organization, where could they go?
They can go to www.sevausa.org, or they can reach us out if they are local Hopkinton. They can reach us out. Me and Madhuri is volunteering for Seva here. Mostly people know around this neighborhood. So, they can go to website, or next option is us.
Yeah, we can help out to take the membership, or it's a free membership. It's nothing much, but they can start involving in the projects and get self-involved.
That's terrific.
And Danu is trying to, I think he will be a new intern for this year for Seva. So I think Danu and Krutas, can you guys talk about some coming projects? Are you guys planning to involve? And Devyans too, yeah.
So I think this project really interested me and made me want to help make a difference and continue making a difference in other people's lives. So in the future, I'm trying to apply for a 10-month internship program with Sewa. And if I get accepted, basically you have to go to locations all across the state, participating in events that raise food, similar to this, raising food and other things, other charitable things.
What about Krutas?
Like Shubhanji mentioned, we have always small and big projects coming up. So something small like the arts class, making flyers for those. So we do have a good bonding as we are all friends. But I would like to participate. It doesn't matter any small or big event that happens. I will definitely participate, because these are one of the ways that I can help people in need. Yes, I'm very privileged to have all these things. So just and volunteering opportunities are also very limited due to COVID. So this big organization, they have a lot of volunteering opportunities. So I will definitely take benefit in this.
And Devyansh?
Yeah, so as Danu and Kurtak said, we're all like one big friends, and like we all go around helping people. So I also would like to do the SEWA internship, and I also do Boy Scouts. So like I'm trying to do as much as I can to like help people, like other people in need with the SEWA and the Boy Scouts. So hopefully it should help.
Thank you. So there are a few volunteers, youth volunteers. They are not here today. So I want to thank them. I want to thank them with their names. That's Vasishta, Suneet, Aditya, and Aryan, Hemankit, Parth. Did I miss something? Somebody? Boys?
Aryan.
Aryan, thank you so much for what you guys did. You guys inspired not just your age group, but you inspired even us adults to do more. Thank you. Back to you, Tom.
And also, I think you might have mentioned some details about this, but is the food drive still going on? Can people still donate items? And what type of items are you looking for? And how would someone donate items?
Yes, thank you for asking these questions. I was waiting for this. Like I said, being part of the food pantry near home, right? Every week, like in a board, every week we get review, like what's we need. And we always get like, I'm very active in social media. So Kathy, thank you, Kathy, what you do. She always asks for clothes and all these items, but mostly needed items I found so far in most of the shelters are diapers, wipes. That's the most needed item, paper towels. And another important thing, a lot of people miss out is teenagers. Teenagers item is so much missing. I'm just requesting everybody, think you guys are teenagers, go back to your age when you were a teenager. What are the items you needed? Those items, please donate to any shelter, any pantries. Everybody's looking for that.
Perhaps school supplies.
Yeah. Especially with teen, they want like a deodorant. Those things mostly people don't donate, right? And those things, when as you grow up, you need all those these kind of stuff. So that is more scarcity in most of the pantries.
Terrific. So it's not just food. There's also some
not
other
just
items
food.
that you can donate as
Food
well.
is always needed, right? I don't want to insist too much on food. Food is always needed, but these are the items is mostly every time I ask them. And that's why I like when Madhuri talk about the medicine supply, which we can take benefit of. It's not people are using their money. It's just if they don't use that fund, it's gonna they will lose the money. So that's why we gave as a save opportunity. That was Madhuri idea to okay, why not to ask them to buy medical supplies like a pressure machine, right? Blood pressure machine or a diabetic machine or a strips or cold like a Benadryl, like a Tylenol, all those stuff.
Also, yeah, that's the thing. With this medical supplies, we're going to appeal everyone to donate if they have extra toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, all the supplies that sometimes we don't use it as often in the home and we have in a bulk and sitting in. So they can definitely donate because the shelters are really in need, like soaps, shampoos, conditioners, all the supplies. We accept everything.
All right. And are these items listed on a website anywhere or the social media pages?
Yeah, not in SEWA because SEWA is very big, and a lot of projects. So I want to, there is a, we just help project just because, and there are other shelters as well. We are each connected with 1-2 shelters and a pantry. So they can reach us out or they can directly go to project just because now, project just because is not just local pantry, it's the entire Massachusetts. Right. So anybody from any town, they can come and get the food. And mostly good thing I love about PJB is we don't ask social nothing. We just ask what they need, what's their name, what's their number. Very basic information.
Yeah, especially for spreading the word out. We are trying to reach out people with a WhatsApp group and even on the Facebook. So social media, we keep posting it. And if it goes to the paper or as a HCAM, we can definitely make it big.
Well, you all are doing very great work out there, and we're happy to get the word out about some of these great projects that you're working on. So I just want to thank you all for joining us. And if there's any final thoughts, feel free. But otherwise, keep up the great work, and thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I have to thank you. Like every
Thank
time,
you.
whenever we need, you guys are always for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone who have donated, who have volunteered with their time, efforts, and everything. We are thankful for everyone.
All right, terrific. Thanks again. And we'll be talking to you down the road soon, I'm sure, about some of the other great programs you have coming up.